There was a man in his early 70s who always believed he was doing everything right. He ate reasonably well. He didn't smoke. He tried to stay active when he could. And yet, something didn't feel right. He often felt tired during the day. His body felt stiff. His energy came and went without warning. At first, he blamed age, then stress, then sleep. But one day during a routine checkup, his doctor asked him a simple question. "How much time do you spend sitting each day?" He paused, because for the first time, he realized he had never really thought about it. Sitting is something we rarely question. It feels natural, comfortable, harmless. We sit while we eat. We sit while we work. We sit while we relax. And over time, it becomes the default position of daily life. Especially as we get older, the body begins to prefer stillness. Movement requires more effort. Rest feels more appealing. So we sit more. And without realizing it, that choice begins to shape how the body functions. At first, nothing seems wrong. You can still move when you need to. You can still walk, stand, go about your day. But the body is always adapting. It responds to what you do most often. And when you spend long periods sitting, certain systems begin to slow down. Muscles are used less, circulation becomes less active, energy levels shift. But the most important change is subtle. The body begins to expect less movement. It adjusts its baseline. What once felt normal, walking, standing, staying active, starts to feel slightly more demanding. Not dramatically, just enough that you notice something feels different. And over time, that slight difference becomes the new normal. The challenge is that sitting doesn't feel harmful in the moment. There's no pain, no clear warning sign, just comfort. And that comfort makes it easy to repeat. Day after day, year after year, until one day you begin to feel the effects. Slower movement, less energy, a body that feels older than it should. And by then, it's hard to trace it back to something as simple as sitting. The man who had never thought about his daily sitting time decided to pay attention. Not to change everything at once, just to observe. He noticed that his morning started slowly. Coffee, breakfast, sitting at the table, then more sitting, reading, watching the news. By the afternoon, he might take a short walk, but most of his day was still spent sitting. Evenings were the same, comfortable, relaxed, but mostly inactive. When he added it all up, he realized something surprising. He was sitting for more than 8 hours a day, sometimes more. Not because he had to, but because it had become a habit. So he made a small decision. Not to exercise more, not to follow a strict routine, just to move a little more often. He began standing up every hour, just for a minute. Sometimes he walked around the room. Sometimes he stretched. Nothing intense, just movement. At first it felt insignificant, too small to matter. But he kept doing it, day after day. And slowly, he noticed something. His body felt less stiff. His energy felt more stable. He didn't feel as tired in the afternoon. And perhaps most importantly, he began to feel more connected to his body again. It wasn't a dramatic transformation, but it was enough to make him realize how much impact something so simple could have. Prolonged sitting is often called the new smoking, not because it is identical, but because of how quietly it affects the body over time. There is no dramatic warning, no obvious alarm, no sudden moment where everything changes. Instead, it happens slowly, almost invisibly. When the body remains still for long periods, multiple systems begin to slow down. Circulation becomes less efficient. Blood moves more slowly through the muscles. Muscle activity decreases. The body no longer needs those muscles to support movement, so they begin to work less. Metabolism adjusts to lower demand. The body quietly shifts into a slower mode, one designed for conserving energy rather than using it. Individually, these changes may not seem significant. They are small, almost unnoticeable, but together, they create a pattern. A pattern that, over time, can influence how the body ages. Energy levels become less stable. Some days you feel more tired than usual, even after rest. Strength gradually declines. Simple tasks that once felt effortless begin to require more effort, and movement begins to feel more difficult. Not dramatically, but subtly, like the body is slowly becoming less responsive. One of the most concerning aspects is how unnoticed this process can be. There is no clear signal that something is wrong, no sharp pain, no immediate consequence, nothing that forces attention, just a slow shift, a gradual reduction in how the body performs. And because it happens slowly, the mind adapts to it. What once felt unusual begins to feel normal. What once felt easy is quietly replaced with something slightly harder. And because the change is gradual, it becomes easy to accept, to normalize, to assume that this is simply part of getting older. Something unavoidable, something inevitable. But the reality is more complex. While aging does bring natural changes, the way we use our bodies plays a significant role in how those changes unfold. The body responds to patterns, and sitting for long periods creates a very powerful pattern. When movement is reduced, the body adapts in ways that may not support long-term health. Muscles lose engagement, circulation slows, energy systems become less active, and over time, those adaptations become stronger. They become the body's new normal, and the longer that pattern continues, the harder it becomes to reverse. Not impossible, but harder, which is why awareness is so important. Not to create fear, not to cause worry, but to bring attention to something many people never notice. Because sometimes the habits that seem the most harmless are the ones that quietly shape the future of the body. Small habits, repeated day after day, year after year. And once we begin to see those patterns clearly, we also begin to realize something important. If habits can slowly weaken the body, they can also slowly strengthen it. The solution does not require drastic changes. It does not require extreme workouts or complicated routines. In fact, it often begins with something very simple: breaking the pattern of prolonged sitting, standing up more often, moving regularly throughout the day. These actions may seem small, almost too small to matter, but inside the body, they send important signals. Signals that tell the muscles to activate again, signals that tell circulation to increase, signals that remind the body it is designed for movement. They remind it to stay active, to stay engaged, to stay responsive. One effective approach is to create gentle interruptions, small moments of movement throughout the day, not long sessions, not exhausting effort, just simple movement. Every hour, stand up, walk for a minute, stretch lightly, roll your shoulders, take a few steps. Let the body shift position. This alone can begin to shift the body's rhythm. Circulation improves, muscles activate again, the body wakes up from stillness, and over time, these tiny moments accumulate. In addition to this, finding small ways to include movement in daily routines can make a surprising difference. Standing while talking on the phone, walking during short breaks, stretching while waiting for something, choosing the stairs occasionally, choosing movement over convenience when possible. None of these actions are dramatic. None of them require special equipment, and none of them take much time. They are not major lifestyle changes. They are small adjustments, quiet shifts in everyday behavior. But when repeated consistently, they begin to reshape how the body functions. The muscles begin to stay more active. Circulation becomes more consistent. Energy levels become more stable. And something subtle begins to happen. Movement starts to feel easier again. Not forced, not exhausting, just natural. The goal is not to eliminate sitting. That would be unrealistic. Modern life often requires it. Work, travel, rest. Sitting is part of daily life. The goal is balance, to ensure that periods of stillness are balanced with periods of movement. Moments where the body wakes up again, moments where muscles engage again, moments where circulation flows again. Because the body is designed to move. Movement is not just exercise, it is a biological signal. And when the body receives that signal regularly, it responds. It becomes stronger, more stable, more energetic. And over time, those small moments of movement begin to protect something incredibly valuable: the body's ability to stay capable, to stay responsive, to keep supporting the life you want to live. Aging is often influenced by the habits we repeat every day. Not the dramatic ones, not the rare, extreme efforts, but the quiet patterns, the routines we barely think about. Sitting is one of these patterns. It feels harmless. It feels comfortable. Sometimes it even feels necessary. And because of that, it is easy to overlook. Day after day, hours pass in stillness. And because nothing dramatic happens, it seems insignificant. But as the story shows, even small patterns can create meaningful results. Not overnight, not suddenly, but gradually, over months, over years. The body responds to what we ask of it, every day, every hour, through the signals we give it. And when we begin to ask it to move, even in simple ways, it begins to respond. Muscles activate, circulation improves, energy systems become more engaged, and slowly, the body begins to feel different. Energy improves. Movement feels easier. Standing feels more natural. Walking feels smoother. And the body begins to feel more capable again, more reliable, more responsive. But perhaps the most powerful change is confidence. When the body feels capable, the mind begins to trust it again. You move without hesitation. You walk without overthinking every step. You begin to feel connected to your body again. This is not about avoiding rest. Rest is essential. The body needs recovery. It needs stillness. It needs moments of calm. But so is movement. Movement is what keeps the body prepared for life. Prepared to walk. Prepared to react. Prepared to stay independent. The balance between the two is what shapes how we feel, and ultimately, how we age. Because aging is not defined by a single moment. It is shaped by thousands of small decisions, repeated daily, quiet habits, small actions, moments that seem insignificant at the time, but together, they build something powerful. They build the future of the body. And sometimes, the smallest habits are the ones that matter most. Standing up. taking a few steps, allowing the body to move again. Simple actions. But over time, they can quietly protect something incredibly valuable: your ability to keep living life on your own terms.